waiting for it to load. There we go. In 3, 2, 1.
I knew Tamia. He was a guy who could drink a six-pack of rubbing alcohol and not even feel woozy. Poor dumb slob. He didn't even have the chance to tie one on before he bought the farm.
Oh, rise now, ye tarnished.
The Morning Stream. We're not toys, we're action figures.
Good morning, welcome to TMS. It's the morning stream. It's Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024. Scott Johnson here. Brian Ibbett there. Hello.
Hello. Hello, Scott Johnson.
Hello. Welcome to the second day of July and the official midpoint of the year 2024.
That's right. If you're looking at days, then today's the midpoint.
Today's the day. So whatever your
Half of
first
the
half look
function.
like, maybe your second half will look better. Whoever out there's listening, you know.
Yeah.
I hope you had a, decent July 1st, and I hope you're all looking forward, if you're here in the States, to a little stupid firework business this week.
Exactly. It's funny. This year is the first time I've heard about actually publicizing drone shows. I mean, I've seen drone shows. I've seen, drones flying around in formation and lighting up and making shapes and words and stuff like that. But they're actually saying on the news, like, hey, we're not doing any fireworks in these cities because of dry weather and crispy grass and all that sort of thing, but we're having a drone show in Golden. Come see the drone show.
Are you gonna do that? You're gonna go try to check one out? Maybe?
Nope. I think we're gonna go see A Quiet Place, and then we're gonna go to a friend's house for their 4th of July shenanigans.
The word on the street is that movie's way good. Real good.
I hope so, yeah.
Heard real good things about it. Prequels don't always get the best rap, but the reviews so far are pretty strong for the Quiet Place
awesome.
prequel. Yeah.
Good.
I like that Lupita Nyong'o, and I really like that Digimon Hansu guy. He's great. He's the one that every time I say that, we should see a gif of him in Guardians going, who? Like that, because I never say it right.
Exactly.
Well, that's great. I don't know what we're doing yet. I think the kids are coming over. There'll probably be hot dogs and burgers, and we have a nice little kind of part of our neighborhood that oversees the valley. So we'll probably go down there, lay down a blanket, and just sort of watch everything on fire from there.
That's the best. Yeah, being able to just watch all of the fireworks displays from a nice safe distance.
Yep. And it will be the anniversary. You know how I like anniversaries. It will be the anniversary on Friday, is it? So the day after the 4th is the day our plumbing went to hell last year.
Oh, wow, okay.
And then everything got real bad for about 4 days. So we're not looking down that barrel this year. Everything's fixed and good. We're all good. But boy, it's hard to not, remember it.
It's like, a huge expense. I was thinking about that with my with the Kia Soul, the engine replacement of the Kia Soul. It's like, oh yeah, that was what a great time that was, with having to outlay, and for you guys having to outlay that much money, and then not have plumbing at quite possibly the worst gastrointestinal disaster.
Oh, it's terrible.
Jeez Louise.
Especially Carter. She's never been so sick. What a nightmare. I never want to think about it. It's just like, it's one of those things that if I can put it in the past and never have it occur again. It was like everything was in threes. Everything went bad like all at once. It was really expensive. And we didn't really get to see any fireworks because the night of the fireworks, Van's patient number 1, he was the sick one.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So he brought it over, gave it to everybody. And we're like, well, all right. And then I, of course, refused to vomit, and everything went great. Well, anyway, we're looking for that. I may try to just see where I could do a drone show, because I don't know. Since I don't listen to much local media. I don't really know where I would find one. I guess I can go Drone Show Utah or something.
Yeah, Drone Show Salt Lake or something like that.
Let's see where to watch okay, Salt Lake City Drone Show 2024. Looks like that's downtown.
Someone's doing laser shows too. Let's see. So Arvada, 4th of July food trucks and fireworks at the Stenger Sports Complex.
Nice.
We'll be able to see that one from our friend's house. That they also have a thing that kind of overlooks Arvada.
Nice.
Let's see. Berthoud fireworks, Beaver Creek fireworks.
Still plenty of fireworks, I guess.
This is This is interesting. Yeah, Brighton. The annual Stars and Stripes event kicks off Brighton's Independence Day celebrations early on Wednesday, July 3rd. Food and beer vendors will start serving at 4 p.m. Enjoy live entertainment with country singer Thomas Mack beginning at 7:30, and stick around for musical fireworks at 7:30.
Thomas Mack, don't know who that is. Is that somebody?
I don't either. No, I don't either. It's sure it's just some dude. But boy, is that a country sounding name? But just musical fireworks. I just picture it's like, boing, boing, boing. I get it. I know they're playing music while the fireworks are going off, but I just want the fireworks to be the music themselves.
I'd be down with that. Looks like Jordan Park. I could go to this one. Okay. There are options here, and they're not even that far. I like that stuff. I think that stuff's cool. It sounds expensive, but I always think it's cool to see the drones doing that. I want to see like a big dinosaur-looking thing and take the boy to that. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Or a transformer, like a big Optimus Prime in the sky. That would be cool.
That would be really cool. God, just get that many drones up there doing their thing. So yeah, apparently I could do Independence Eve at Civic Center Park. That's where everybody used to go and smoke pot before it became legal.
Sure.
That would be April 20th number one hangout. But apparently they're having a live performance from the Colorado Symphony Brass and Percussion Ensemble, and Denver's largest ever drone show. Visitors can enjoy food, music, and pop-up shopping, and then find a space on the grass to watch the drones. Unfortunately, that is also going to be during the time that I'm playing D&D. So none of that there that night. Lakewood Drone Show, 300 drones in this one.
Is that a lot? I don't know what the number should be.
I don't know. I don't know. That's a really good question.
I always feel like the Chinese put us to shame because they'll do a drone show with like, I don't know, what feels like thousands. I don't know what they use.
Yeah.
But
that's actually one of the things, we've got the Olympics coming up here, and I'll watch a few of the competitions, especially summer. I like some of the summer competitions, but I always like the opening ceremony stuff. Sit there and chat and do whatever during and watch during all them coming out with their flags, and the greased up Tongan guy waving his flag with his big buff body. Mm-hmm. But I like the stuff that they do with the drones and the music and the projection screens and the dancing, stuff like that. I thought, China did a great job. Japan did a really cool job with that.
I should check in with Patrick, see if he's going to go. He has an apartment in Paris.
Right.
I wonder if he'll avoid that or would want to be there for that. I wonder. I have to find out.
I wonder. Yeah.
It's probably going to be a little crazy. But Olympics.
Boy, I feel
baby.
like I would just stay in my apartment and just see what I could see from my window, and not, you say, oh yeah, Patrick's got an apartment in Paris. All I can visualize is he's got a nice little black iron rail patio with a little iron table on it with a baguette, and then he could just sit on there, and it faces, of course, the Eiffel Tower because it has to, because that's in my what I visualize. Sure. But I'm sure it's just like, he sees a building across the street and there's no patio or anything like that.
Yeah, I think he's got zero view that I know of, but he probably, whatever festivities are going on, it just sounds like it'd be a madhouse. It was here in SLC when we had it, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was just crazy. I guess we're getting it again in 10 years or whatever the hell it is. Real quick here about that. Yeah. Love is in the air, speaking of Paris.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Right here. It's more in Arvada, I suppose, though. So tell me about it. What's going on over there?
Yeah. So Tristan and Kay have been dating now for 6 years. Last night was their 6-year anniversary of dating. Mm-hmm. And they went and recreated their first date, which is at the Denver Aquarium, now owned by the Landry Seafood Company. Yeah. So if you see any fish missing, well, you're probably eating it.
Is it really owned by them? Is that true?
It is. Yeah. Landry owns it. And they have a new restaurant in there, and it's like a seafood restaurant. They're not pulling trout out of the exhibit and serving it to you, but they are, you can eat seafood there.
It's like a beef processing company owning a cow retreat.
Like Fred's barbecue restaurant and petting zoo.
Yeah. Very, very weird. Pet them before you eat them, kind of thing.
That's right, exactly.
All right.
But Tristan, had asked somebody there if they'd take a picture of of he and Kay in front of the Shark Tank, and the guy said, "Oh yeah, sure, just some random person." And then as the guy's taking pictures, Tristan turns, gets on one knee, and offers and asks for Kay's hand in marriage.
Aw.
And she said yes. They have a really cool black sapphire ring because Kay is, both of them are not much into the kind of the Barbie colored lifestyle. They're into the how much black can I fit in my closet?
He's not. It's funny about Tristan. He's not. I would not say he's not like a dark emo kid.
No.
But they do like that look,
That style, right? That look, yeah.
Yeah. It's all right. It's Friday. I'm in love. That's all I think of when I see him.
He doesn't have the weird Robert Smith makeup or the hair, but no, dude's got quite the bushy lumberjack beard too going on.
I was gonna say I saw that in that photo. I haven't seen him in a little bit, and it was like,
oh
my gosh, can I have some of that hair, please?
I'm no kidding.
Jeez.
And I think bright green. I can't remember what his color is right now. I think it's bright green on top of his head, but
yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, getting engaged, and obviously no plans yet. No date has been set, but we'll keep everyone posted on that front.
Well, congrats, dude. That's great.
Yeah,
marrying off one of your kids is always a big whoop. Well, in your case, you're one kid. This is the one.
It will be marrying off all of our kids.
Yeah, all of Brian's children are being married at once. It's crazy.
Right, at least all the ones I know about.
Well, we could tell some stories. Just kidding. That's not true.
Yeah, exactly. Amy asks if I'm going to do the ceremony. And, if they ask me to, I will. If they want me just to be, I guess they'll get to see in October how I do with my niece's wedding. And then they'll make that determination and say, yeah, I think we're going to get somebody else.
Yeah, no pressure. No pressure that day on you.
No pressure. Exactly. None whatsoever.
Yeah. It's a cool thing to do. My guess, I'm just going to go ahead and predict it. I'm guessing he does ask you to do it. I'll bet you end up doing it. And it's a really cool thing to do. But I remember, doing Nick's, I did Nick's.
Yeah.
And I remember feeling, for all the other ones I've done, for people who just asked me to do it, and for other like nephews and stuff like that, it's a very similar thing. I think 4 total now, 5, whatever it is. They all seemed easy until I got to Nick. For some reason, it's obvious. It's your own kid. It's just hard.
Yeah. You don't want to screw it up. You don't want to accidentally make them not married by not saying the right word, or oh wait, did I have you sign on the right line in the marriage certificate? Oh damn!
I like the next question. Can you officiate and DJ the wedding at the same time?
Only if I can do the Prince "Let's Go Crazy" beginning and just basically bundle it all in one stop. Dearly beloved. Oh, hold on, let's do this right.
Oh, you have it?
Dearly beloved.
Yeah.
We are gathered here today to get to this. This. There's not enough echo on this one. Let's see. Can I get
and it
better
needs to
echo?
be like ba 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 ba.
Yeah, let's go. Echo.
That's not bad.
Echo.
Favorite lost character.
I've lost echo.
Favorite lost character.
Dr. Echo.
Oh, that's not bad.
That one. Dearly beloved.
Oh, that's good.
No, it's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah. We are gathered here today to get to this thing called life. Electric word, life, that means forever, and that's a mighty long time. But I'm here to tell you.
It's amazing. It's amazing. You should do that. I think that's great.
Yeah. All right, cool.
And hire like a Morris Day looking backup guy.
That's wrong. Just have him holding up a mirror while
while
this guy's adjusting his tie.
Had a bunch of women named after like perfumes or stuff, whatever they were.
Exactly. Oh, you're right, Amy. It's Mr. Echo, not Dr. Echo. For some reason, I want to make him like a Marvel villain. Dr. Echo.
Yeah. I wish that actor. I'd never see him do anything anymore. Or maybe I do and I just don't know it. Maybe I haven't been paying attention.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point.
I liked him a lot. He was great.
He's so good.
Maybe Digimon Hansu owns the entire industry. There's just no going
him
back.
And Hurley's girlfriend. We've seen her in a bunch of things since, but just such a one of the most tragic deaths on that show.
Oh,
my
by
gosh.
far, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all on
Just
Netflix,
happened to
by the
walk
way.
in
As
at
of
the wrong time when
it just hit Netflix yesterday, the series. So if you guys haven't seen it,
cool.
Yeah, it's all out there. So
I think I need another rewatching. I'm gonna finish what I'm watching for recommendals, and then I might switch to watching Lost.
I need to watch what you watched. But anyway, congrats to the couple, congrats to the parents, congrats to everyone all around. It's exciting stuff. Love is in the air. Nothing like a wedding. I don't know what their plans are for when they'll do it, but exciting. Could be winter.
I could see them again. Neither of them are super like. I don't see them saying we want a big, elaborate, lavish ceremony with all white canopies and swans and stuff like that. Nah, we just ran off to Vegas and did it.
Yeah, that generation they don't care as much.
Goth Elvis impersonator.
I'm sure it could be arranged.
Love me tender, love me true.
I mean, you could get James to do it. Just dress him up just right. And...
that would be the best.
So,
okay,
listen.
So you take Kay, to be your.
Oh, I want to see that wedding. I want to see it so bad.
When we were playing trivia with James and Svet and their friends, it was all I could do not to just bust into a James impersonation like while we were playing. But I don't like doing that just without being asked to do it by the person that I'm imitating.
Part of the problem is you are very, very good at it. So it'd be one thing if it was like a passing sort of okay impression, but because it's so dead on, it's almost like you need written permission from that guy sometimes.
Right.
It's really amazing. All right, I got an update on the bee situation around here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
More bees. Well, hornets.
More bees. Hornets. Oh, no. Okay.
So what's crazy is I made this comment yesterday, and I'll say it again. If bees and hornets have a Zillow, they are terrible at letting prospective buyers know about what has previously happened at the location.
Many deaths have occurred in this house, but still, please come move in.
Come move into this beautiful lot. It's available. Anyway, it's the same exact spot as the one we got rid of.
Really? They
started a new one right there.
Those things have a remnant of the old mud wasp hive or whatever it was.
Yeah, like a little nub up there or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
you'd think that they'd say, "Oh no, that's obviously something bad happened here. Let's not put our mud wasp hive there."
Yeah, it's like building a house on an ancient Indian burial ground knowingly. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
with the headstone still sticking out.
Yeah. So these idiots moved in and started a new hive, and we noticed it. And so Kim says, well, there's not too many bees in it yet or hornets in it because it's just new. So she waited a second for the two that were in there working to leave, to go to their 9 to 5 or whatever they do.
Go to the office.
Go to the office or whatever. So she then took out her rake thing, knocked it down again. But the good news is today we get those fake ones in. They were supposed to be here last night. They didn't show up. So we're supposed to get them today, and they're the paper.
They look like paper lanterns, but they're
I think you're the one that recommended it, right? You were the one that told me.
Somebody in chat recommended it.
Okay, can't remember where I
recommended just dousing that thing in whatever flying insect raid spray at dusk.
Yeah, and we may still kind of soak the nub in that because. I don't want them coming. Like, what the hell, man? Don't come back. The whole point for that original, genocide of your people was to keep you from coming back. But they came back anyway. So anyway, we're gonna put those up. That should be fun. They're these cool little brown things. They're like $10 on Amazon. You get 4 of them for $10 or something. And we're just gonna scatter them around the yard and see how it goes. No more bees.
Let's hope. Jeez Louise.
So yeah.
How many times have I said "Jeez Louise" this episode? Probably too many. I'm going to stop saying it.
How many Louises do we have in our listener group?
Exactly.
You have to say it for every one of them.
How many times do I invoke the spirit of Kenny Loggins? I guess he says "Please, Louise," but still.
Right, and he's alive, so he can feel it when you do it.
Yeah, yeah. There's a little twinge.
There's like a little tug at it. He's in bed right now with his orange juice in his morning routine, and he just is going, "Oh shit!" There's Brian again.
It's as if I heard someone say, "Please, Louise, pull me off of my knees," and then was suddenly silenced.
Yeah, there it is. I always say Jesus Louises.
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just do.
Nice.
We got a listener, and this is about a thing we talked about a while ago. I was railing against the idea that someone who might be okay at typing words into a paragraph, if that makes them an artist or not.
Sure. Yeah.
I do. For the record, I still don't believe that makes someone an artist. I think it just means that they are a entry point for a vast collective of cloud-based computing systems that do everything for them, and most of it is borrowed from other things. So you really did nothing. You just prompted it to poop something out.
I'd say you're a programmer more than an artist. If you're because you basically are you're typing code that a computer system is doing to perform a function, as opposed to
that is a more if we're going to lay it bare, that's closer to the truth. Even though even then they're not coding in a traditional sense. They're just typing.
Right. They're not just coding in a programming language.
But they're saying, "Hey, computer, make me." It's like saying when Captain Picard orders his tea from the replicator that he's somehow an artist. No, he just ordered the tea he asked for. And if he said to put a cherry on top, it would. Good decision or bad decision. Like, that's just the prompter. That's what you do. So I'm these people that are like, I'm an artist. No, you're not.
We're gonna address what you said in a second, Gemadako, because I think that you're missing the point if that's your. So Gemadako says, so authors aren't artists. Got it.
No, like saying
the end result of an author is a book, which is a piece of art, and absolutely authors are artists. The end result of a prompter.
Yeah, no. Let me tell him where he's correct. He'd be correct if you got onto ChatGPT and said, write me a book about 3 villains and a hero set in a planet far from Earth. Yeah. That does not make you an author. That made you a dude who wrote a thing, a computer pooped out a bunch of shit, and that's it. That's not. Yeah. Yeah, Jamadako's got it wrong.
That's that's the best analogy right there. Yes.
So here is what he says. Scott, look at it this way. This is an anonymous person. I didn't get their name. A composer is not a musician, but they are an artist. Well, I agree with that. Music composers who are not necessarily the singer or the musician or the what am I trying to say? Instrument players or whatever, are still artists. And maybe I'd still call them musicians because they're making music. All right, because making music isn't necessarily playing the music, but making it is, still a composer.
They know, and I think they know the exact end result that they want.
Yeah, even if they can't play it, which by the way is a bit of a stretch because most of those people can at some basic level get on the piano, riff through it, change it, write it,
I agree.
Do more.
I think some of the better composers do have an instrument, usually like you say a piano or a guitar that they can get their vision out.
Yeah, or even sometimes a computer if they're doing electronic music or something. But either way, they're laying stuff down for maybe somebody else who's a better performer to play because that's the commission. But yes, they're writing music. So anyway, he goes on to say they may not be able to play the instruments. Again, I would question whether that's true. At some basic level, most of them can. But they know how to direct them and they have a vision. This is what someone using AI prompts is doing. No, it isn't. There's room for debate. Says there's room for debate about the ethics of artists involved versus the composers, musicians, but you get the concept. In either case, could we maybe not deny folks the right to call themselves artists? You never know what kids' interests in art you may be crushing, or whether you like it or not. This is how the future generation is probably going to art. I think that's a cop-out. And I know if you were here in person, I'm not. This isn't a fight. I'm not looking for additional fights here on any of these issues. But I want, if you're sitting down with a kid, you're a parent, teacher, whatever, and you say, you seem to be interested in art. You don't give them a ChatGPT login and tell them to start typing.
You don't say, here's a prompter, enter, draw a turkey with the outline of a human hand.
Yeah. And then you holding it up and go, I'm an artist. No.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
No, what you do is you give them some paper and pencils and pens and coloring and whatever.
That's right.
And you start to have them flesh that stuff out. That doesn't mean that these tools aren't useful or can't be useful. I'm not saying condemn the whole thing to hell. That has never been my stance. My stance is, though, this idea, this is a little bit like me going, well, because I walked up and oh no, this is a better one. I went to a place that hires out horses for a trail ride. And they put me on top of this horse, and it's a horse that's old and tired and isn't very active, and it's a nice slow walk around this lake. And we made it back, and then me getting off the horse and going, I'm a Rough Rider cowboy and will be for life. No, you're not. You're a guy that got put on top of a horse and had a slow walk around a thing. So I guess what I'm saying is, like, I get it. I I get the idea that these tools are powerful. You can do powerful stuff with them, no question about it. I've done a few powerful things with them myself. But I didn't, like when I sat down and said, hey, create me a chart showing this data, and this data. I didn't, when that was finished, go, I'm a statistician and a pro at building spreadsheets. I'm not. I used a tool to make a thing. Now, you could say, well, artists, if they take, palette and brush and canvas, those are tools to make a thing. But those tools can't do shit without you holding them and making a thing. Now, can somebody just take a pen and go on a piece of paper? And is that what I'm saying is the standard? No. Somebody may see that and go, oh, that's art because it speaks to me. There's something wild about the scribbles. And like now we're getting into interpretation.
Jackson Pollock, for example.
Yeah, now we're getting into the interpretation part of art, right? Because there is there's that whole level of it. But people who sit down and go, all right, dear computer, I would like you to make me a beautiful, majestic bird perched atop the Empire State Building on this day where it's sunny and there's birds in the background, and describe the whole scene. And then it poops out this thing, which is to anyone's normal eye is going to look very AI generated. Forget about that for a minute. That's the other problem I have is the aesthetic. I hate it. But let's say you've done it. And then do you immediately say, all right, print that. Now I'm going to go and say, I made this. No, you didn't. You said a thing, and then this complicated, most of it not even on your computer, off into a web of other devices, cloud computing, came together and made this thing for you. It's not the same. It's just not the same. All right? So you can't, all these comparisons to like, well, what's the difference between people have said this to me before. Well, if you're using a tablet and a stylus, what's the difference? There's a huge difference. The stylus and the tablet are the pen and paper. You still have to have the artist. It's not making it for you. You can't just make this for me and have it make it. It doesn't work that way. So it's not even like an elitist gatekeeping thing. I just don't know how you can call yourself that in any other scenario where you say, Brian, if Brian tomorrow, I don't know what, I'm trying to think of a good example of this.
If I used, I guess we don't have, well, we do have some of it, but if I used, these things that'll say, okay, create this song, but make it using this country style and make it have these lyrics. Does that make me a musician?
No.
What I end up with is a song. No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
It may be close to my vision, but all I've done is tell. Amy came up with a really good analogy, basically, where if she commissioned you to draw something, and described exactly what she wanted in the drawing, does that make her the artist?
No.
As well?
No, she wouldn't need me otherwise. And if you were such an artist, people doing prompts, you wouldn't need the vast array of computer technology to do it either. You know what I mean? Like you could just do it. So I don't know why this is a point of contention for people. He makes this issue down here about think of the kids' interest in art you may be crushing. No, that's if you're doing that as a parent or a teacher, telling their kids that them writing this in and pooping out an art thing is making them an artist, that's a you problem. You screwed up. Because what will crush them is the truth. And the truth will set you free. So teach them young to draw and to scribble and to doodle and to all that. And if they have an interest in it, keep doing that. And if they get to an age where they're like, you know what, I cannot get this background right, so I need some assistance. I'm going to use, this AI thing to help me do it. Great. That's not the issue. The issue is like, did you, I don't know what, I can't even, what, Amy's is a good example. I like hers the best.
Hers is a good, and Gemadaka, we're not saying that the only type of art is drawing pretty pictures, but it's,
of course not.
You're describing, you're not creating when you're using a prompt.
Right. Art is, again,
you're relaying.
Yeah, very good. That's a great word. Relaying it. You're not actually doing it. You're relaying it. And if you are somebody who's like a performance artist, you're out in the middle of the street and you're juggling. It's a form of art. Some people may not like that form of art, but it's art nonetheless.
Right. For sure. Yeah.
If you want to, this is where you can get into the weeds. You can say, well, me in front of ChatGPT all day is me hunched over. It's my kind. It's like an art.
I sweat.
Like you can make all those claims, and that's fine. But I hit a practicality wall and I go, yeah, you're just like artists can make art without the infrastructure that is required to do this AI shit. If people are telling me they're only an artist if they have billions of dollars worth of data centers, research, years of technology, and various companies that are built on making this stuff for you, if that's the only way you can call yourself an artist, I don't know how you're an artist. Because if those aren't here, what are you then? Like at the very least, a visual artist can sit down with a piece of chalk or a stone and carve something into the ground. You know what I mean? Like there's a baseline. So I don't know. People may have some other thoughts. I'm obviously kind of all over the map here, but
I do like people looking at like, all right, the kind of the gray area or the what ifs, like where is it? Batuba says, if a great artist has lost the use of their hands,
right, then
would AI art be acceptable? I'd say it's still a different thing. It's still, they're great artists or not, they're still using the same textual tool that other people are using that are prompting and relaying information to create art. And I'd say that they are not creating, or they are not the artist in this case. They may be a great artist and they may have lost the use of their hands, but using a prompter is still not them creating art.
No, but I can tell you what could make them artists if they've lost. Let's say you've gone completely neck down, paralyzed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you've got a friend or someone you've commissioned or someone you work with who is you are now their muse. So that person can sit there and you say, what I picture is this. You sort of close your eyes and you think of the painting you want, and that other guy making it. That's closer to you being an artist, even though you're relaying information. That's closer than it is for you talking to a bunch of mindless computers and telling them to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, so write in, tell us what you think. Again, this isn't aimed to be confrontational. I just, this is just, I feel very strongly about it, but it's not, I'm not going to hate on anybody if they're doing whatever they're doing. So,
yep. And Katie says the answer is to simply make AI art its own category and call it a day. Like, make it not, it's not, you're not an artist. Come up with a new term, a prompter, or I'm an art programmer.
Sure. Or people are hiring people for this job. I wonder what that actual title is. Like somebody who let's say you're working at a video game company, your job is to create art assets that are just repetitive and, textures or whatever.
Yeah. What
are they called? I'm sure they have a name. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah. Whatever they're called. Right. Like are tweeners artists? I guess they are, right? Because they're taking no, people, it's not a derogatory term. Are like the people who take animation cells and say, okay, here's cell A and cell B, and now I need to create 30 cells that go between those. Are those guys artists? Sure.
And it's also about who's doing the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
The computers are doing the heavy lifting with AI stuff. Big heavy lifting. And so BioCow's point that it's just another medium equal to the other ones he listed, I disagree very heavily with that.
Yeah.
It's not equal. It's not the same. You don't get a vast system of computers. You have no control over, by the way. These aren't yours to control. You don't keep a stack of server farms in your room. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not the same thing.
Yeah. Totally. No,
Dr. Calhoun, you're so impatient. All right, we'll move on. Jeez Louise. You wonder why I don't look at the chat most of the morning.
Yeah. Schmartest. I kind of like that, Katie. Schmartest.
I like it too.
I'm a schmartest. Yeah. It's like the Shemmys. Like, I didn't have a primetime Emmy. I was a technical something behind the Kelly Clarkson show. I got a Shmemmy.
You got a Shmemmy. I like Shmemmys. Shmemmys are good. I would proudly display my Shmemmy.
Yeah.
All right. Let's dive into some news content. It's time for us to tell everybody about the news, and it's brought to you by
some more trivia from Scott. If you order murgh, I think that's how that's pronounced, MURGH, from the menu at an Indian restaurant, what will you get? Sick is the answer. No. What meat will you get? I should read the whole question.
Sure.
So what meat is murg? Meat is murgher. That was my favorite Smiths album, by the way.
Yep.
Was meat is murgher.
Meat is murder. I love that.
Completely a guess, right?
Yeah.
So, Indian restaurant doesn't. So I don't. Do they have a lot of pork in Indian restaurants? Like pork, beef, chicken. I'm gonna guess chicken is what I think murg is.
Is it chicken? You are correct.
Well, all
2
right.
days in a row. Nicely done.
Yay! Sussed it out. That really.
Well, no, you did exactly what you do. You have to do this
definitely
process.
not beef, right? Exactly. Beef, probably not an Indian restaurant.
Yeah, and you don't see a lot of
pork.
pork. When you said pork, I couldn't think of anything pork I've ever had there, but maybe they do.
Yeah, no, it's like chicken satay and stuff like that. I'm trying to think of what do they have lamb? Probably not, right? Oh, goat. Goat is good. Yeah,
Goat is good.
goat and chicken. Can you get lamb at
I don't know.
an
I always
Indian restaurant?
I always think of Greek food with lamb, but that's
yeah, exactly.
I
yeah.
know other people had sheep, Other people
They were
other
exclusive
cultures. Yeah. Other cultures surely ate some sheep, but I don't know who did.
Yeah.
The
Lamb
Greeks.
is halal. Okay, so you can get lamb. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then I probably had lamb at an Indian restaurant.
Probably
Just
have,
didn't think
yeah.
about it. I had some really good tiki masala the other day.
Oh,
Mm.
We've got a place that just opened up near us, a block away. Used to be a Pudge Brothers pizza or some Big Daddy pizza. That's what it was, Big Daddy's pizza. And they got rid of all that and they put in an Indian restaurant and it's called tikka masala. And went there and it's so good. And they do it right. They give you enough food that you have your meal and then you've got a couple days worth of great lunches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if they're going to name it that, it better be the best damn thing on the menu.
It is pretty damn good tikka masala. I will know. Not NGL, Scott. NGL. Not gonna lie.
We had these vegan sandwiches from this place called Bud's downtown.
Uh-huh.
I think. Okay, I've always given my vegan friends a little bit of a hard time because while I respect their decision, I just think it sounds awful to eat that way. Like it just doesn't sound good to me. But I have a lot of bias in my past about what that actually is. And every once in a while, someone somewhere will make vegan food that blows my freaking mind. And this place it's the best sandwich I've had in years, maybe.
Yeah, really.
I gotta go back there. It was so good. Gosh,
there is a place in the Highlands, Denver Highlands, that we went with Steph with the extra F's, physical therapist, and now back in Utah, that we went to in the Highlands. It was fantastic. Can't remember the name of it, but it was so good. It's like, yeah, I could eat here 2 or 3 days a week and get something different every time and enjoy it.
I need to get with her. She wrote into the Monday show too about this, and she knows what I could get here. Yeah. And I'm trying to be more open to the idea because I know it's healthier. I know there's forgetting for a minute, not forgetting, but all of the quote unquote social, political, scientific reasons why we should stop eating meat and that sort of thing. All that aside for just a second, just talking about pure taste and enjoying what you get and not spending too much and all those other issues. I just need people in the know to show me where to go around here because I just don't know.
Yeah. I think it's because you and I, when we first started hearing about vegan food, we were hearing about meat substitutes, and that just kind of made us feel like, I don't want a meat substitute. But you don't have to have any sort of meat substitute anything. Just don't have something that normally would have meat. All plant-based is just completely fine.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, let's dive right into eyeballs then. Let's get into some eyeballs.
Eyeballs. Excellent.
A man has suffered speaking of bees, a rare bee sting directly to the eyeball, and it did not go well.
Oh, I'm surprised because usually those things go really well.
Yeah. You'd think having a stinger right in the center of your eye would be the best thing ever, but turns out no. Turns out it's a bad thing. In what may be a biological equivalent to getting struck by lightning, a very unlucky man in Philadelphia took a very rare bee sting directly to the eyeball. He took a bee sting to the eyeball.
Oh, jeez.
Things went bad from there. As one might expect, 55-year-old...
I used to be a great Philadelphian like you, but then I took a bee sting to the eyeball.
Take that, Skyrim. Change it up some. That's perfect. As one might expect, the 55-year-old went to an emergency department. This must be a British thing.
The emergency department.
I guess
Yes.
it's Ars Technica, but I'm guessing they had like a British. It just feels British
Hello,
to say
emergency department.
Hello, it's the DP. Let's see. Where doctors tried to extract the injurious insect stinger from the man's right eye, but it soon became apparent that they didn't get all of it. 2 days after the bee attack, the man went to Will's Eye Hospital with worsening vision and pain in the pierced eye. The pierced eye.
Oh, and
Oh,
yeah,
that-
2 days after the bee attack, there's nobody. I can't imagine saying to myself, "Yeah, I think I'll be fine 2 days after I get stung in the eyeball by a bee."
Yeah. It's not clear here if he went first, then went home, then had worse problems 2 days later.
No,
I
he
can't
did.
tell.
So he initially went to the emergency room and they tried to extract the stinger, and then 2 days later he
Oh,
went
okay.
back.
Yeah, that's I wasn't sure, but yeah, that sounds right. At that point, the vision in his right eye had deteriorated to only being able to count fingers. The eye was
so
swollen.
he's good at identifying AI artwork. So that was
No one's better than him at this job. The eye was swollen, inflamed, and bloodshot. Man, this is just killing me. Blood was visibly pooling at the bottom of his iris. And right at the border between the man's cornea and the white of his eye. Ophthalmologist spotted the problem, a teeny spear-like fragment of the bee's stinger still stuck in place. Quote, I was not surprised that the ER missed a small fragment, says Shohaney. Is that the person? Shohaney?
Shohaney. Yeah. Did they give a? They didn't tell what this person's full name is before this. It's just
No,
Shohaney.
just Shohaney or
Shoshani.
Shoshani?
Shoshani.
Okay.
Yeah, Shoshani.
No last name. They pulled out the majority of the stinger, but the small fragment was only able to be visualized in at a slit lamp.
At a slit lamp.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
I don't like that.
Let's move on.
Yeah. I don't like how that makes me feel, slit lamp.
Yeah.
Anyway, she said, referring to a microscope with a bright light used to in eye exams.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay.
I'm gonna say something next time I'm in there. I'm gonna go. Nice.
Bring
slit
out the
lamp.
slit lamp.
Yeah, bring out the slit lamp. I don't want you to miss anything.
Yeah.
In this case, they visualized the stinger at 10 times or 16 times magnification with the additional help of a fluorescent dye. Moreover, after spotting it, the stinger fragment needed to be pulled out with an ophthalmic specific microforceps. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
They're okay. They're going to be all right. They're going to heal up. But I'm just trying to imagine something just worse than this, and it's hard for me. A bee sting to the eye sounds so bad to me.
Yeah. A bee sting to the eye that requires multiple days of stinger extraction. I just basically... Doc, so you're saying I'm going to just lose the eye? Is that... Should I just lose the eye? Can we just lose the eye?
It's awful. Like, think about it. The last time you had a sliver in your hand and a little piece got left and it just stayed red and was never going to go away. But in your eyeball!
Yeah.
I assume at that point, there's no concern about the actual bee venom, right? Like, because there is venom, right? There's like a...
Yeah, there's venom. And I think that they're probably, it's like a, I visualize it like a hypodermic needle, how it's hollow and there's the venom inside. So when they pull out the majority of it, great. But there's still the fragment of it in there that's hollow that probably still has a little bit of venom in there, and that's what's causing the pain and the blood pooling and
yeah, it's awful. Somebody's asked, let's see, Win Mega says, does bee sting to the eye gross Scott out more than licking fingers? Yes, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Lick your fingers all day. I'd much rather have that than your freaking eye have a stinger in it. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're done with the news. We're now going to...
it makes me excited to hear when you finally watch episode 7, I think, or maybe 8 of The Bear, of the new season of The Bear. Can't wait for you to watch that one and tell me how you do with that.
Oh, gosh. I haven't started that whole series yet. I should probably, right?
The whole series? Oh, my gosh, really?
I've never seen any of them. My wife's seen season 1 and 2, I think. We're on 3rd now? Is that this?
Yeah, 3rd season just came out and wrapped up. All episodes out at the same time.
This one seems to be a little divisive. Did you find it to be divisive?
Yeah, it is, and I can definitely understand why, because the focus of the series, the delivery of some of the episodes is in a very different format than we've gotten in previous seasons, and I'm guessing that's what people's complaints are, especially like episode 1, which I really enjoyed, but it is unlike any other episode of The Bear that we've gotten in the first 2 seasons, and even some of the later episodes.
But in a
this
good
season.
way, you're saying, like it
In my
worked for
opinion,
you.
a very good way, and a
Okay.
very emotional, heartfelt way. But it's not definitely not a bottle episode, but an episode that is just very different from the rest of the it.
I like that Gene Wilder looking dude in it. I like him. Can't think of his name.
Somebody pointed out to me, and now I can't unsee it. He looks like a young Dustin Hoffman.
Oh,
Jeremy Allen White.
wow. Yeah, I could
Yeah,
see that.
yeah.
He has beautiful piercing eyes. You notice that?
Beautiful piercing nose.
Yeah. That nose will pierce you before the eyes will.
if you could, as long as he's looking straight on, you can see his eyes. But
Where's the worst place you've been stung by a bee? Or has there been anything major like that?
in the shirt while I was driving. So, driving from Denver to Estes Park. Tina's in the car with me. She loves this story, and my girlfriend at the time with us, Tina's friend. And I've got my arm hanging out the window. We're driving. This is back in the old Chevy Chevette, and a big baggy, God, I want to say it was like a big baggy yellow button-up shirt.
Sure. Like we wore back
And-
then. There was the 90s,
Like
baby.
we were back then,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Nothing wrong with that.
nope. And we're we're just about to get to Lions, and all of a sudden a bee flies into the sleeve of my shirt and is like flying around in this baggy shirt because the wind is blowing into the sleeve and it's puffing up the shirt. I don't want a puffy shirt. And I'm trying to remember. God, this is where I wish Tina was here. I want to say that I got pulled over by a police car at this time, and I had to explain that a bee flew into my shirt. But I don't think I was swerving or anything. I don't know what
Did he just see you freaking out or something in the seat?
he must have seen me freaking out or something, or maybe I was speeding. Well, I'm sure I was speeding because I speed. And I got pulled over and had to explain to the officer there was a bee in my shirt, or that there was a bee in my shirt. And yeah.
That's pretty bad. I don't think I can't equal that. I mean, I've been stung a few times, but nothing like that. Like, when you're in a car and shit like that goes down.
Yeah, and you're like in control of a vehicle that is flying at 50, 60 miles an hour down a road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. Ugh. I hate that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the best I could do is I got inner thigh when I was 8
Ooh.
at a baseball game. Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't good either.
That wasn't good either. Everything healed up fine. All right. Listen up, y'all. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Bobby will be here. That's right. He swapped for Monday with Bill so that he could be here today. We're going to talk about some weird science today. All right. Weird science. It's coming. So get ready. Hold your breath. Before that, though, a song, and Brian with the song. What are we doing?
Yeah, let's go to Oxnard, California. Oxnard, another place. Well, an ox doesn't want to get stung. For a post-hardcore punk emo band called No Motive. They spell it without an E at the end, so it's NOMOTIV, or No Mote 4. Might be. Anyway, they just signed with Southern Cal indie label Wiretap Records, who have sent me so much great music over the years. Love Wiretap Records. They just released their new single, Pieces, their first song since a single, Once Again Sundays, that they released back in 2011. 13 years since their last single, but this is great. This is a brand new single from the band No Motive. It is Pieces.
Take it easy, Sam. It wasn't the hives, it was that Dr. Morris. The one you picked to bring the frozen bee sperm from Brazil.
My name is Goku.
And we're back. I didn't mean to have a bee-related clip there. That's funny.
I know. So we have a theme today. I like bee themes.
Yeah, I really did. Anyway, tell me who that was one more time, if you don't mind.
Sure, that is a band called No Motive, and a brand new single from them called Pieces. Their first in 13 years. Let's hope we're going to get some more stuff from No Motive. And big thanks to Earshot Media for sending that one along.
I think Earshot is one of your best
They
sources.
provide some great stuff.
Every time you bring them up, it's like a great song, you know? Not that they're always kind of good, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Something I forgot to mention about trivia last night, I impressed the whole table and kind of myself because, I played a lot of retro video games as a kid. We all did, right?
Sure.
Or we played a lot of video games as a kid that now we call retro.
Sure.
But I never got into Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat or anything. And they showed a slide with two dudes on it. One of them was Duke Nukem, and the other one was a guy that like, oh yeah, that's a guy from Street Fighter, and he has the weird spiked straight up hair. He's in army fatigues, that sort of thing.
It's Guile.
And Guile, exactly. And I was like, that came into my head. I think it's Guile, but I don't know why I know that because I never played that game. But it's like I'm pretty sure that's Guile, and the whole table, once we got it, a bunch of old farts and Tina. No, I'm kidding. My neighbors across the street aren't old farts, but none of them ever played video games. I'm like, I think that's Guile, and they were just impressed that I was able to.
That's
pull
very
that
nice.
out.
Maybe you were thinking, you thought of Shit Gratifter or something.
Apparently thought of Shit Gratifter.
Yeah, because he was Guile in that. He didn't have the hair though. He didn't do the hair thing.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
It's a mistake.
If they showed me a picture of Van Damme from the movie, I think I would have gotten it.
Yeah.
But see the just the shot of the dude. It's
nice.
like, I'm not 100% sure.
Well done. Well, speaking of being well done, we have with us someone who's been cooking all morning, and I'll play his little intro, and then we'll talk about him.
Science!
Bob is hungry, and the soup looks good.
Sure does. Bob is here. Bobby, he goes by, and no one calls him Bob. Maybe his mom calls him Bob. I forgot if we've ever asked you that before. Did your mom call you Bob or Bobby?
She does. She calls me Bob. She's the only one who really calls me Bob.
Okay.
I think we covered this like 2 weeks ago. I think that recently.
She says it like this. She says, Bob.
Bob. Hey, Bob. Come over to the house, Bob, and fix my water or whatever it is she needs.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. Bobby, will you do me a quick, tiny favor? You're the only person I haven't talked to about this since they changed it, and it's not a big deal, but can you go into your user settings in Discord real quick? Go down to, where is it? Video, voice and video, and scroll down near the bottom where you can choose to have automatic gain control on. Will you turn that on for me? Right now, I think it's probably off, if I had to guess. If it's not off, then we got a different issue. But
it was off.
Oh, there we go. You're back to
perfect. I normally like it to be off because I want to control mine. But you're right. Discord is being weird lately, isn't it?
Yeah, and they changed it, and it works fine. In fact, it's been
it used
really
to be
good.
bad. This setting used to be really bad, and now it's good.
Yeah, it used to be. So what they did is they tightened it up. This is how the best I can describe it. It used to be you would say something loud or laugh, and it would like. Now you're like this for a little while, then you slowly creep back up, and now we're back to normal. It would be like that. Now it's staying much closer to where that line is. It just hugs it, and it's actually good, but it's a pain in my ass because I spent years telling everyone to disable it, and now I'm telling them all to enable it. Anyway, you sound perfect now, so thank you for doing that. Bobby, you're here. We got some weird-ass science to discuss today in Bobby's Science segment. And so who better than the co-host of All Around Science to do it for us? So give me some skin, man.
Yeah, so the problem that people always have with robots, that you always see these videos of robots that are like supposed to be talking to you, like they're always from Japan too, right? Like these Japanese robots that have faces and they're talking to you, and they get better and better and better, but the problem is they always have this uncanny valley issue, right? Yep. They always just look too good or there's something weird about them. They're not good. Well, they're at the University of Tokyo in Japan again. They're making some effort to see what they can do and have a different approach to change the way robots have the way we make faces on robots by putting actual real life human skin on them.
Ooh. Actual you're talking about actual biological cells, right? We're talking not okay.
Human skin cells, yes.
I've seen the photos of this thing.
I know. It's not helping me with the uncanny valley just yet. In fact, it's maybe making it worse, but I understand the potential. Why does it have to be
so shiny? Why does it have to be so damn glossy?
I know it looks like, because it looks like it's just wet skin
Yeah,
blobs that are being made to look like a smile. You really have to see it. If you're listening right now and you're not on the stream and can't see what Scott's putting on the stream, you really should go look up like a video of the research where they attach this skin to some actuators on a little disc, and they made it smile, and it's really weird looking.
The idea is interesting, right? Because if you can't do it synthetically, obviously the more realistic way is to create, actual functioning skin. But the problem is we have a whole ecosystem in our bodies that keeps that skin healthy, moisturized, growing, shedding occasionally, regrowing, that sort of thing, replenishing itself, this sort of thing. And I don't know how you maintain that. I mean, that seems like I think I'd be just okay with a blank stare from a robot and not worry that much about it.
Well, that's definitely one of the problems that they've already said on this paper that was published just a week ago on June 25th. They've already said that that's one of the future challenges that they have to solve. But let's get the real quick specifics on what this is. So it's actually I said it was in Japan, University of Tokyo, but it's actually a joint collaboration, which so much research is nowadays. Between University of Tokyo, Harvard University, and the International Research Center for Neurointelligence. So what they're doing is they've created a technique for creating lifelike robotic skin using living human cells. The skin itself is lifelike. The face itself is not quite yet.
Nope. Needs work. Yeah.
Yeah. What they've done is they've engineered a small robotic face that's capable of smiling. It's this little like palm-sized disc that did it, and they added like little things that look like they're like glass eyes, I guess, just to make it it look weird.
They might have just should have left that part out.
I think if the glass eyes weren't there, it might be less creepy.
Yeah,
right.
It's like you're looking at just the regular happy face. The the 70s.
It would look more like an emoji or something.
Right. Yeah.
But what they did is they covered the entire thing, this disc, with a layer of pink living tissue. And the thing that's new about this, and the interesting thing, once you get past how creepy and weird it looks and all that, the interesting thing is how they've done this and the method for attaching the skin to the surface. So the title of the paper is, I love reading science paper titles because they're so hard. The title of the paper,
they're so matter of fact, or very very
or they're just impenetrable. Like you just cannot understand what they're talking about. But the title is Perforation Type Anchors Inspired by Skin Ligament for Robotic Face Covered with Living Skin.
Oh, it's a mouthful.
Yeah, but really it does lay out everything that they've done. So what is it that they've done? They're attaching the skin by using what they call perforation type anchors that are inspired by how actual skin ligaments attach your skin to the underlying tissue, right? Mm-hmm. So what it is they 3D printed a resin base face or that disc. They've got a couple of different versions of this. One of them, they actually created a resin three-dimensional looking face. And all throughout the surface, they have these small, what they're calling perforation anchors. And what it really is that they're these little V-shaped tunnels or tubes in the surface that what's the best way to describe this? Did you ever, when you were a kid, either in a sandbox or in your backyard or at the beach? I did this at the beach all the time. You dig a tunnel and then make it come out, like you dig it in one place and then it would go underground and then come out in another place.
Oh,
right?
I guess I did do a lot. I do that now in like No Man's Sky just for funsies. I like making those kind of
right, exactly. And so I would play with action figures in little tunnels like that, right?
Mine would always fill up with water way sooner than I wanted them to, though. Like I'd like to get this tunnel, and then water would come in and just flood the whole thing and crumble the little bridge across it.
Yeah,
exactly. But so what they did is on the surface of these 3D printed faces, they would create a bunch of little tiny tunnels like that, and then they grew the skin on top of the surface of the 3D printed object so that it would actually grow into those tunnels. And so it's like it created little loops that were anchored in those tunnels. Yeah. And because skin is very stretchy and elastic on its own, it would hold itself there, and it could withstand being pulled on and stretched and all this kind of stuff. But it would hold itself together, and it's very similar to how our skin actually attaches to the underlying layers of tissue.
It's almost like a Chia pet grooves, right? Where you're spreading the seed and the growth stuff into these little grooves, and then life is just attaching in there and then creating, like, going off on its own kind of thing.
Right.
You're just directing it where you want that weird life to grow.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And so the idea why they wanted to try this was because the reason we have a lot of uncanny valley issues is mostly because of the fact that all the other things that have been used, like silicone or any other artificial surface or any other artificial material that was skin-like, is not actually skin, right? So it doesn't exactly move the way that skin does. Skin moves a certain way, and it wrinkles a certain way, it bends and folds a certain way. And so why don't we just put skin on this?
Yeah.
And see if it behaves similar, and they found that it does, despite it looking really weird.
Well, it's early going, right? Like, they're just getting started. It seems like there's the vast room for improving this. Are there any outcries yet about, like, these are living cells and we're not allowed to do that, or any of that?
Stem cell research arguments and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
There are, there's always ethical concerns, and there's going to be, I haven't seen much of it, but there are, always an outlying group that, because you do have to use some sort of, like, semi-potent stem cells to grow these types of tissue. But they're not like embryonic stem cells or anything. A lot of it comes from juvenile foreskin.
Oh!
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
so wait, so they got, like, you go to this hospital, your baby's born, they snip their foreskins off, they keep that and then use it here?
I guess.
Use the cells? Nice. Excellent.
What the frick, dude? Oh my gosh. So next time I talk to a robot with living skin, it might actually just be a bunch of penis tips, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ugh.
No, this robot looks a little cockeyed, but other than that, I'll see myself out.
Tip your waitress. Yeah, that was really good. So wow. All right. I didn't hear that. I didn't see that coming. That's an odd one to me.
Yeah.
But I mean, don't we have?
It actually made me look into it, because I was reading an article about it. It was like, oh, they just went and they ordered some of these skin cells, and they actually list in the paper the company where they got it. And I dug in, and it is surprisingly easy to just buy human skin cells to grow in your home.
Really? Can I? Where does one? Do you just Google this, or
Temu? I mean, just order.
Oh, they're all penises in Temu.
Wayfair, you got just what I need.
They used a company called PromoCell, which sells all sorts of different living human tissue starter packs, they call it.
Oh wow! There's a bunch of these.
Yeah.
Zen Complete human skin, fibroblasts you can order from. How about human primary skin cells for skin culture at Lifeline Cell Tech?
Yeah.
This is news to me. I had no idea.
It's way cheaper than I thought too. Like, I can get a skeletal muscle cell differentiation starter package for just like $450.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. One of these, I went to their site where they have these for sale. It's like a regular store, and some of them are out of stock. Like, dermal microvascular endothel cells, adult, $871, out of stock. Oh, that's a shame.
Currently on back order.
Yeah, I was really hoping for that. Can't you guys keep those?
Other items to consider.
Yeah, because I went through the process. I was like, what is it? I went all the way up to the process where it required me to put in, like, payment information.
Credit card, yeah. Uh-huh.
Because I wanted to see, is there any point in this where I, like, have to provide credentials? that I'm like some sort of official lab, like associated with a university or something. But no, it didn't. It was just like, you want some? Here you go.
Weird. And
People who bought this also bought excavator to make a giant pit in your basement to put people into, and lotion in a basket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it says here 500,000 cells per vial is what they sell these at least this one source. What would where did you only need one though, right? To get going, or
one cell?
Yeah, because can't you just? I don't know how this shit works.
Well, if that cell dies, then you're
it's not like
out of luck.
It's like sperm and eggs, where you just need one is all that's going to take. You got to have a bunch to.
You could theoretically start with one.
Yeah. It'll just take you a lot longer.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm blown away by this. I had no idea this was a thing. I can get smooth muscle cells.
Yeah.
Lord knows I could use some of that. Yeah, they're very convincing muscle cells. Lord knows mine aren't. So,
So the reason that they're doing this, and they claim, is for what the obvious reasons of making realistic social interactable robots, but also they say that it'll advance the science of tissue engineering, also for reconstructive medicine.
Yeah, I was going to say like skin grafts and things like that. Yeah.
Being able to grow this stuff and make it easier to grow and more realistic, and also with cosmetics, because they found that after repeated making it smile over and over again, it developed smile lines, right?
Yeah.
So just like human skin does, and so understanding that process and how that happens, they say is
so those little actuators that make it smile are like doing it over and over and over, and somebody in a lab has to just sit there and watch this.
Look at it.
Look at it do this thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
nightmare fuel. That's horrible.
Then they're doing follow-up psychological research on that person.
Yeah, please do, exactly.
Get them on a list of some kind.
Here, you can take my foreskin. Just let me out of this lab.
Are there so Bobby, if you had to just pontificate any other far-reaching use cases other than robot facial crap, is there a way we see this in some other application? Because oftentimes that's what'll happen, right? Research will happen on a thing, and they go, "Oh, you know what? Facial reconstruction surgery. The guy lost half his face in a fire," or whatever.
Yeah,
maybe
I was
some
actually
of these...
thinking about this, and there's research that's been done over the past year on trying to replicate squid skin for like camouflage purposes, right? Because squid are really good at camouflaging, right?
Didn't know that. I guess they turn kind of translucent or whatever they do.
Fit into tiny spaces. But
they can change the color of their skin and the pattern, and so they can just like lay on the bottom of the ocean floor, and they can change the pattern of their skin to just kind of blend in. And so scientists have been wanting to study how they do that for a long time, and they know a good bit about it, but we can't grow for some reason. I don't know why, but for some reason it's really hard or impossible to grow skid squin.
Skid squin.
Squin.
I love that term.
Squid
skin. Squid. Anyway, no. So I mean, why? Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, they understand what's happening at different layers of the squid's skin. It's a really fascinating topic. They have like a top layer that uses pigment cells in the squid skin and so that's attached to muscles, and it changes the shape of the pigment cells to actually change the color. But then there's like an underlying layer to that allows them to change like an iridescent layer using structural color instead of pigments, and it's really complicated stuff that makes it so easy for them to change. And so scientists have thought, like, why don't we just make our own material that does the same thing instead of trying. So this, being able to grow actual human tissue and try to incorporate it into like human skin cells could, I don't know, make camouflage type materials would be interesting. But then you got to think, then the Terminators are going to have the ability to camouflage and hide themselves from us.
Yeah, right. This is all just part of that. We're all just working toward that end goal. I feel like the Trojan people should get on this. Feels like an opportunity. You know what I mean? Truly skin-like condom technology. That would be amazing.
I mean, you laugh, but I mean, why not? You know?
I mean, look at it, Brian. Look at it this way. You're like, all right, I'd like to order a box of Ron Jeremy's, please.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Oh, jeez. But it doesn't mean you're gonna feel it any better while you're wearing one of those.
Well,
it's not going to become your own skin.
Not
She's
with
just
it.
gonna
Not
look
with,
and say,
yeah.
"Why the hell is that thing smiling at me?"
Not with that attitude. We got to figure out a way to get them to work together. You know, mesh together.
Right,
The Ron Jeremy thing's a joke, but the idea. I don't think this is this crazy. If you could do this, then you could order the Tom Cruise or whoever would put their name to it and say, here are 500 of my cells, make a bunch of condoms out of it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Less. Okay, so more about this, the getting to use some celebrities' cells. Than the this is improving condom technology kind of thing.
Sexual
for
health
pleasure.
It's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It's smiling.
Really, she should get the pick.
It's smiling for her pleasure. Also, I'm
thinking I want some Elizabeth Hurley cells or some Alison Brie cells or something like that.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Let's look at it from our perspective. Okay.
Exactly. But
here's the other thought, though. I bet you this place. I'm looking at this dish. You know, at the little face on it. There's no way that place smells funny, doesn't it? You just know it.
Oh yeah.
You can't
it
mess
looks
around
like
with
chewed bubble gum.
Yeah, but I bet you everything in there smells like just like a rot. There's a cat somewhere in the attic who died a year ago, and just everything stinks.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Just I can't. I don't like human cells outside of a human laying on a table, growing in weird ways. There's no way it doesn't just reek in there. I just know.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be amazing if all of a sudden they're like, wow, you know, we're developing this skin technology and it's finally working. We're able to create skin with these cells. Why does it smell like chocolate chip cookies? Like freshly baked chocolate chip cookies.
Well, now you're on to something. See?
Yeah,
this is great. I want condoms and I want them to smell like chocolate chip cookies. Fresh out of the oven. All right, Bobby. Well, this is fascinating stuff. We'll, of course, keep an eye on it. A little twitching, glossy eye, I guess. To see if it advances any more than this. But in the meantime, people should know more about where your show is, what it's about, and how they should listen and why. Tell them all about it.
The podcast we do is called All Around Science. It's weekly. We talk about science, just whatever we're interested in or whatever's going on in the news. We just recorded our 200th episode.
Oh, congratulations!
Oh, congrats! That's a sign that a podcast is going to stick around when you hit 200. That's awesome.
That's right.
Well done.
Well, we are definitely planning on sticking around, and we answered a listener question that was it was more science fiction related. We talked a lot about what over time science fiction has gotten right, what it's gotten wrong, and it was just us talking about what we've seen and stuff like that. But
I love that kind of talk.
Yeah.
If you can go, you get a couple of nerdy friends and just go down that hole. You'll never want to get out.
That's what it was. We had to. Maura, my co-host, had to cut it off at a certain point. She was like, "Okay, we're just going to keep going forever if we don't."
Yeah, I love that though. That sounds like my jam. Well, it's all around science, you guys. You're going to want to hear it. It's real good stuff. If you liked what we talked about today, more gooey face talk coming your way. Bobby, thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Thank you.
And you know what? We'll see you soon. Okay. I don't know why I said it that way.
Number one, I pulled you into my ready room to talk to you. I don't know if you're having this problem, but every time I look at Data while he's talking to me, I think, your face is made of foreskins. I can't hear a word he says.
Someone in the chat, too, said that the face one
There
where it's...
are foreskins.
Yeah, there are foreskins. Here, look at this. That face on the left, everyone in the chat was saying that looks like Mark Zuckerberg, and they're kind of not wrong.
It does look like Mark Zuckerberg, yeah.
Yeah. Got a little Zuckerberg. I don't know who this looks like, but...
On the right?
Yeah, I don't think he's got I don't know. Ernest Borgnine. It's the face of Ernest Borgnine.
It looks like the villager that I'm going to politely ask to leave out of Animal Crossing.
Nice. Yeah, please leave.
Please leave.
What's name of it?
If I don't bring you flowers for a while, will you leave?
Yeah,
please
leave my place. All right, we are done. That's the show, and that's great news because it means that your day has been started properly. You're all going to feel better about it, and you're going to have a great, awesome rest of your day. But we can't do any of that shit before Brian plays a song because that's really what sets us. That's like the mark, right? You hear the song, and then you go, well, I'm off. The rest of my day is awesome because of this rad song Brian brought.
Exactly. This song and the Indie in the Middle really just separate us from all of the other couple casts out there.
Yep.
Hey, let's get a request from Matt B, who says, hey, sushi and bulgogi. Oh, dang it. Right before lunchtime. My 37th birthday was June 30th, and Weezer is one of my all-time favorite bands. Could you play a cover of one of their songs? And if you can't find a good one, I know that Weezer themselves has a pretty good cover album, quote, or parentheses, the Teal album. Signed, Matt B.
Nice.
Well... Thank you, Matt. And happy birthday. Happy 37th birthday. I don't know. What is that? Does he get the Let's Party?
I think so. Yeah, you're under the number.
Let's party.
You got one. I mean, you don't have much longer, but I think you should still get celebrated as a young person.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm one of those people that thinks that the Teal album is hit and miss. I love Weezer, right? And I've done a bunch of Weezer shows on Coverville, and I still have physical copies of a lot of their albums. And I even did their subscription thing with Ratitude back when, and I predicted this, by the way, on Forecast, the podcast, Tom and Scott podcast,
nice.
Where I said bands are going to start to have subscription services so that you can subscribe to them and get all of their content. And then Patreon came out a little while after. I'm not saying I invented it.
We didn't give you enough credit for that. That's actually a dead on. I used to want to track these, like all our guests and the things they said, and I just kind of spaced it. But you did it.
Yeah.
That's rare.
I did it.
Not everyone did.
I did it.
Yeah, most people are like, one day our bushes in our yard will be our best friends and they'll talk to us as we go to work. It's like stupid stuff like that, but that's a real one.
Yeah, that's a real one. I want to find that episode and timestamp it and say, right here. Thank you, half of Pomplamoose, Jack Conti. You can send my residual checks to this address.
Sure.
Anyway,
that's great.
All right, so this one came out a couple years ago, but I did not find it until this year when I was putting together a Weezer cover story. Taking Back Sunday in 2021 released a cover of Weezer's "My Name Is Jonas." It sounds like Taking Back Sunday. It's not them trying to ape Weezer, which is always a plus for me. And it's a great cover. Here is "My Name Is Jonas" by Taking Back Sunday.
We'll see you guys tomorrow for a Wednesday edition of the Morning Stream.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.
This is called tripping.
Oh, tripping. Okay.
Tripping,
man. You be tripping, yo.